Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching Raider Sport. It's Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports. And coming up here on today's show, we got the latest news and rumors circulating around OTAs, what Josh McDaniels talked about. Obviously, we're going to look at Jimmy Garoppolo's injury, but today's show is presented by our good friends, Panda Subs. Head on over to pandasubs.com. Use code TEST for 25% off your order. I recommend the Test Booster. Also, don't be shy. Get those hands on some of those Thermogenics, the fat burner. Coming up here, OTA news. We're going to look at some injuries that were, I guess, the topic of discussions on social media. We're going to talk about Tyree Wilson, Jimmy Garoppolo, Josh Jacobs. 6 players were not in attendance today. Greg Van Roten. The Raiders signed him while I was gone, and I want to tell you the type of impact he's going to have on the offensive line. And then at the very, very end, Tom Brady, the latest rumors around him, because, yeah, we're still talking about him. I'll admit, when I saw the Raiders hired him or had him as a new part-time owner, I was like, oh, my God, I wonder if Chugs is going to go live. So let's talk about Jimmy Garoppolo here and the update on him. He is not cleared for practice with a foot injury. It's been known that he had some sort of foot injury. The 49ers medical team said that he was good. The Raiders medical team said no, not quite very good. Josh McDaniels declined to answer whether Jimmy G had offseason ankle surgery. Then it was confirmed today that he, in fact, did have at least some sort of ankle foot surgery to clear up some of that scar tissue right after he signed with the Raiders in March. That could have been one of the reasons why the contract, if you remember, the contract ended up going down, and they're like, well, wait a minute, we still got to work out a few logistics. That could have been one of the things that held up the contract. Also, the thing that worries me is he could be out until training camp, which is late July. I get the fact that he knows McDaniels. I get the fact that he understands this offense, but he still needs to be able to build that team chemistry. So if you say that you're not worried, I'm sorry. I simply don't believe you. This is what Josh McDaniels had to say on Jimmy Garoppolo. He's going through his process just like we knew he would. Nothing has happened that would surprise us based on the information we had. So as long as Garoppolo is not going to be at OTAs, mandatory minicamp, any of the offseason programs, you're going to be looking at Brian Hoyer, Aiden O'Connell, and Chase Garbers taking most of the reps. I would imagine that Hoyer and O'Connell take even more reps with the first team. And if I'm McDaniels and I'm really trying to get my team up to speed, I'm going to have Hoyer take even more reps over O'Connell. It's not because I don't think O'Connell can do it. I actually think O'Connell's a better quarterback than Hoyer. But the reason why you brought in Brian Hoyer was because in case Garoppolo goes down, you want to be able to have a quarterback that knows how to execute your offense. Others that I want to talk about, Tyree Wilson, the Raiders, who they drafted at number 7 overall in the 2023 NFL Draft. Tyree Wilson won't participate in OTAs, which if you've watched this show before, you'll know that this was something that we've talked about. And in fact, I'm not really going to inspect him also until probably around training camp time. Josh Jacobs was not at OTAs today. You know why? He has yet to sign his franchise tag tender. And until he does, you will not see number 8 out on the field. It's still weird. I still think a 28 with Jacobs. Number 8's out there. I might have to get myself a new Josh Jacobs jersey. But again, you're not going to see him out there. I think people might get freaked out a little bit by it, but I really wouldn't get too worried. People who did not participate today, according to reports, Garoppolo, Josh Jacobs, Hunter Renfrow has been a name that we have thrown out there for multiple reasons. Justin Herron, Tyree Wilson, and then free safety, Tre'von Moehrig. To make sure you never miss anything going on around the Las Vegas Raiders, hit that subscribe button. It's 100% free. Watch the show for a week, and if you don't like what we do after a week, hit the unsub button. Actually, you don't have to do that. Just keep on watching the videos anyway. Rocking with Raider Nation. Coming up next here on the show, what the signing of Greg Van Roten means for the Silver and Black. I had some people hit me up. They're like, hey, Mitch, saw your tweet that you think he could potentially be a starter. What do you think about it? And most of those people didn't know I was in Cancun. So as soon as I came back, I was like, all right, no matter what happens today around the Raiders, I want to give my 2 cents on Van Roten and ultimately what it means for this team. So he signed with the Raiders on May 19th. The fact that he could play offensive guard, he can play left guard, he can play right guard, and he even has the ability to play center, which he did last season. An 8-year veteran, he has appeared in 93 career games with 54 starts. When you talk about this Raiders offensive line, Colt Miller locked in at left tackle. Anything after that, I could make a legitimate argument that I could move around all 4 of the other starting Raiders offensive linemen. So if you don't think for a second that he has the opportunity to play this upcoming season, I think you're going to be wrong. So he started 4 games last season. He also was able to play, and I believe it was 16 games in total. So my question to you is this. How many just win babies on Van Roten starting for the Las Vegas Raiders this upcoming season? If you're new to the show, then hey, this is what 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 mean. 0 just win babies means it's not going to happen. 0 just win babies, tuck rule, tuck that. 1 just win baby, 25% chance, 50% chance, 75. And then if I give it 4, it means 100% chance that I think it's going to end up going down. So one more time here for all of you that are watching this live, and for those that are watching this maybe not live, how many just win babies on Van Roten starting for the silver and black? How about this? I'll make you guys a deal, because I see right now a lot of the votes are coming in. I'll give my answer, but before I do, huge shout out to Panda Sups for sponsoring today's show. I'm going to tell you this right now. The amount of Panda Sups that I'm going to be consuming over the next 30 days, I'm pretty sure I put on 15 pounds when I was in Cancun in 1 week. No, I don't doubt it. I did try to work out a little bit. There was one day that I was really sluggish, but I did take some testosterone booster to help me kick ass in the gym. You can also get your hands on this awesome product and get 25% off at pandasups.com. Use code TEST. The link's going to be available for you guys in the comments and in the description of today's show. Also, if you're looking to trim up that waistline, let's say, hypothetically speaking, you ordered room service 7 days in a row, then this is definitely a product that you got to get your hands on. If you're like, well, like Alex, she's not too much of a pill taker, then I always give her this, the Burn Thermogenic. It is a fat burner. You will shred fat off your midsection. All you got to do is take it, and then I'd still recommend eating healthy. But the results, I'm telling you right now, speak volumes. I mean, they really do. So, presented by Panda Sups, big-time Raider fan. Go check it out, pandasups.com, code TEST. So, let's talk about Van Roten here starting for the Raiders. I'm going to give it 2 just win babies, and I do think that there is a 50-50 shot that he could get out there on the field. And one of the biggest reasons is that key V word again. It's versatility. The fact that he can play offensive guard. He can play left guard. Dylan Parham can go over to right guard. He could play center. The Raiders could save all that money on Andre James, and then maybe you're really confident in Dane Moody at right guard. Maybe you're really confident in putting Alex Barrs back out there at right guard. Maybe McClendon Curtis can play right guard. You keep Dylan Parham in at left guard. Coaches love his IQ. Very, very intelligent player. Went to college, I believe, at Penn. So the Penn Quakers, shout out to him. Undrafted free agent in 2012. Through his career, though, he has been a better pass blocker than run blocker. Though I looked up some quotes, and he was talking about the difference between being a center, being a right guard, being a left guard, how it changes your footwork and the concentration and all these different aspects. From a career standpoint, he has played in the NFL 8 seasons, okay? He's been on some practice squads. He's been on some rosters where he didn't get any playing time, but the seasons that you see up on screen are the years that he played at least some sort of snap. Now, I really like to look at the last 5 seasons because that's where he's gotten the most work. And some of the coaches that have talked about him and said, yeah, he didn't really get many opportunities when he first started because he was an undrafted free agent. But since he's gotten those opportunities, he's done pretty well with them. I also know this regime, McDaniels and Ziegler, and they probably saw him play with the Jets and Bills over the past 3 seasons, and they're like, all right, yeah, that's probably a guy I want to get my hands on. Giggity. So from a 2022 snap standpoint, he played 1 snap at left guard, 159 at center, 194 at right guard, and then he's played a total of 354 snaps last season. According to PFF, his overall grade was a 57.6, a pass blocking grade of 60.4, and then a run blocking grade of 58.6. However, though, because he's played different positions on different teams, I did want to be able to show you guys some of his other numbers. In 2021, according to PFF, 700 snaps, a overall grade of 68.1, a pass blocking grade of 53.7, and a run blocking grade of 75.0. In 2020, 752 snaps, 63 overall grade, the better pass blocking grade at 71.5, and then the run blocking grade in there as well at 54.4. With this move, if I were to make the Raiders starting offensive line right now, this is how I would do it. I would say you're going to have Miller, Dylan Parham, Andre James, Greg Van Roten, and then Jermaine Illuminor. But like I mentioned before, Jermaine, he can kick in to play right guard. Dylan can play right guard. Andre James could end up getting cut. And if the Raiders did move on from James after June 1st, you're saving, over $6 million there. So I could understand the Raiders wanting to do a move like that if it meant, okay, we got a guy who's a veteran, who's more, I would say, built the way Carmen Brasillo likes his offensive lineman built, though Andre James is a hard-working man. I just think that that's how this offensive line could potentially look, which also means Dylan Parham could have an opportunity. What if they want to put Roten at left guard? You can kick Parham over to right guard. What if they want to put Dylan Parham at center? You end up cutting Andre James, save all that money. Well, now you can end up throwing Roten over there to left guard. You keep Natane Moody at right guard. The offensive line shuffleboard that Carmen Brasillo was going to play, it just continues to grow and grow and grow, which I like. So, what do you think? Who's going to be the Raiders' starting right guard this upcoming season? I want to know. Who will be the Raiders' starting right guard? I see some people saying Andre James can't play guard. He can play guard. He also played a little bit of offensive tackle at UCLA, but he's not built to be an offensive tackle in the NFL. He can play guard. But I think when you talk about James, you have to look at the money that the Raiders could potentially move on from. So who's going to be the Raiders' starting right guard? My money right now is actually going to go on the man that I've been talking about here, Greg Van Roten, for the simple fact of he's very intelligent. Yes, he can play multiple different positions, which gets him a spot on this roster. But from what I understand, this coaching staff went out and they got him for a particular reason. Speaking of offensive linemen, for those of you that do know, for those of you that don't know, I challenged Jermaine Illuminor when I interviewed him. Man, it's about a month and a half, almost 2 months ago at this point is what it feels like. And I need y'all to save this date, June 10th, Saturday, from 5 to 8 p.m. I'm taking on Jermaine Illuminor. There's going to be other Raiders players there. From what I know, I believe Colton Miller, Andre James, Jonathan Hankins, so an old Raiders player will be there. There's going to be Graphic Raider will be there. Raider Cody will be there. Jeremy Chuggs will be there. And the location is at Barcode Burger. So look it up. It's in Las Vegas. It's the same spot that I challenged Hankins to last year in the burger eating contest. So if you want, show up. All the proceeds that we're doing, they're going to go to charity. I believe it's going to be $40 to get in. Me, Jermaine Illuminor, wing eating contest. Hope to see you there. Let's talk about the last thing here on today's show, and it's going to be around Tom Brady, because while I was away in Cancun, Brady buys some ownership stake in the Raiders. Again, I'm not too surprised to buy it. Why? He's also part of Davis's Las Vegas Aces ownership group, which he acquired a stake in March. What was really interesting about the latest rumors around Brady was today there was a report that came out that apparently Brady could still play for the Raiders. And I saw that, and I was like, man, there's a lot of smoke going on right now. But what do we always say on this show? Where there's smoke, there's fire. And Jordan Schultz, who is an NFL insider, said it's not impossible. And the reason why I thought it was intriguing is because a lot of times, you get these guys in the NFL, they talk. And why is this important? It's important because if Jordan Schultz is saying it's not impossible, and then you go look at Jimmy Garoppolo and the injury news that came out today. The fact that Schultz reported that and then the Jimmy Garoppolo injury news both happened on the exact same day, did think it was a little bit peculiar. Also, if the Raiders wanted to potentially get out of Garoppolo's contract, they can do it. It's not great for Mark Davis, but from a salary cap standpoint, they do have the ability to do it. So it's interesting nonetheless. A little bit more smoke. And I did want to add one more thing, because Davante Adams, he spoke today at the end of, I guess, their press conference, whatever, for OTAs, and he was basically like, I'm a Raider, I'm here to win a Super Bowl. For everyone out there making the rumors that you're going to trade me, maybe go play Monopoly or some of that type of shit. So that's what Davante Adams said. He's a Raider. We're all Raiders, and if you made it this far, spam RO4L down in the comments.